because you guys like stories, the mental by fan stories.
Yeah,
That's why
boy.
you are joining us for another episode of Nothing But the Tea. My name is Elizabeth Joseph, and I am your host. But to my right, I'm joined by my colleague and friend, Hancho Kapofi. He will introduce himself formally because I know that that's what he's dying to do. And then we'll jump into the topic. The topic for discussion today is toxic environments and how to keep your sanity, in a toxic place.
Yeah, so because Nothing But the Tea is a very relaxed place, I'm not going to be using my radio voice today.
I mean,
Yes, I'm just here for the vibes. I'm here to relax. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to discuss, of course. And yes, as she said, I'm Hancho Kapofi, really, really excited to be back. I was here on the very first episode
can you believe
with
it?
Chelsea Chikongo, and I went MIA. I'm back. I was missing in action. I'm back. I don't know for how long, though, because I might just go missing again.
Most probably after this episode.
But I'm really excited to be here, man.
Cool. So tell us if you've ever been in a toxic environment. It doesn't necessarily have to be work. It could be in a household, and maybe you visited a friend and there things were just messy, or alternatively, maybe a friend circle. What were your reactions when you found out, oh my goodness, I'm in a toxic environment right now?
You know, sorry. Funny enough, I've been in so many toxic environments. I don't know, something maybe about me just attracts toxicity. But I've been in so many toxic environments, not really work, maybe not really, but like friend wise, my house is a very peaceful place. So everywhere I go, or when I started school per se, I didn't even just grade one. Or like when I started school, I didn't expect what happened. Like as in so many, I come from a house where you are taught how to greet, you are taught how to do a lot of
Every
different
basic things, yeah.
basic things, and then you go to people and they are just like, hey, fatty, you're fat down. Sorry. Hey, you're fat down. And everybody's coming together and calling you names, and I'm just like,
Wat 'n goeie
but
stie.
what gaan on? I've been in so many toxic environments, but funny enough, I didn't know it was toxic.
Really?
No.
And it's so crazy how sometimes those type of character traits in other people, but also within oneself, you become so used to it. You become
Yeah.
so used to
It becomes
being
like a
toxic,
norm.
yes.
Yeah.
And then you just don't even realize it anymore. You just live your life with this toxicity. You entertain people of that nature. You tolerate a workplace that's like that. And I feel like a lot of the times, as working group, we tend to tolerate a lot of BS,
Yeah.
especially in the workplace, because we need to get our money.
Unfortunately, when life gives you strawberries, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. You get so.
I hate that. Oh my God, I hate that. I just want to eat the lemon just like that, or just no, say screw it. I'm not going to touch it.
Ne, I think we everywhere you go in life, this is for our viewers, this is for you as well. Like everywhere you go in life, there is always gonna be the rotten apple, part of the, So one rotten apple can turn the people around, the apples around that apple also rotten. So some people adapt to that situation, and because they came into a workplace where one person was toxic, they become toxic as well. And I think it's very difficult to run away from it because sometimes you don't even realize yourself you're becoming toxic or you're becoming part of the problem because this whole time you're trying to avoid, like, you know what? These people call me Morphy, these people call me Fatty, I'm not going to do that. And then next thing you know is like, I was also called that, let me try calling someone that, So it just becomes part of you and you don't even know.
And it easily rubs off on you, and it just it makes the whole environment so stale. And now you'll be sitting in a meeting, and then the whole meeting, like, I have crazy anxiety, so I'll just be having not even a mild, but like a very heavy anxiety attack while I'm in a meeting, and then I go out feeling like, was it just my thoughts? Wat het daar gebeur? I think when communication lines are not properly established and opened and all of that, and the environment in which you are is not made to be safe,
Yeah.
you just feel it's so draining. You go home feeling more tired than than anything else.
I mean, you go home feeling tired, you come feeling tired, you wake up, you don't even want to wake up. Like, you're like, oh
And
my
that
God,
is one of
another
the
day.
exactly, that is one of the points that are listed here in terms of like, how do you know that an environment is toxic? I did some research and it says that you have little to no enthusiasm. There's a lack of communication or negative communication. This shit is, sorry, that is just really accurate. Also a high turnover or clicks and gossip and rumors.
Ooh.
What is that met mense that makes you that? I understand forming a clique at work or at school or at home. Even at home, brah, you have cliques.
No, in
It's
my
your
household,
two siblings and then they start attacking you for no reason. A friend of mine and an ex-colleague, she went through that.
I also went through that. Interestingly, brothers and sisters, if you're watching, you know what you did. But like, clicks, gossips, and rumors. I think those. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm gonna sound toxic saying this, but I feel those people, those type of, they are needed. I'm sorry. I don't know if maybe I'm sometimes part of the clique that I feel this way in here, but like, I feel like they are needed sometimes. I just feel like they always just needs to be
They
there.
spice
Because
it up or what?
yes, in life, everything needs to be spiced up. I also feel everywhere you go, you are gonna find it. There is no way to read. I'm telling you, Ne, you can go and work for a church. The secretaries will talk about you. I'm
And
telling
yeah.
you, there is everywhere you go. There will be cliques. There will be rumors. But how you then deal with it? It's how you deal with it
Yes,
that
I was
counts.
just going to say that.
Because if I know people are talking about me, obviously, you know, one thing about me, I don't want to call myself a witch. Come on, I'm a witch. No, I'm not a witch. But I have like this instinct, like my inside voice. I get it from my mom because my
Your
mom
gut
also
feeling,
has my
yeah.
gut feeling. If it says something, then I must know. I just know. And that's how I'm able to be like, okay. And one thing about me, I'm very extra when I know people are talking. I will walk in while they are talking and I will make noise and I will be like, ooh.
To show them that you gotta give them a show. They're gonna
Exactly.
talk about it, so make it spicy.
Exactly.
Make whatever they're going to talk about. But that I just feel so. Even just discussing this topic, it hurts me to know that this is our reality. We are
is sad
wherever, like you
reality.
said, wherever you go and work, it's going to be like that. And I feel like a lot of the times it comes from sometimes you've established within yourself, or you are made to believe that you are better than the next,
Unfortunately.
or more established, or I've been here longer. A lot of the times I used to do that. Maybe I even did it with the interns right now. Like, I've been here longer. That, I think sometimes from my part, it's me trying to establish that I know what I'm doing, you know. It's not like I picked this up yesterday and I started here yesterday. But then some other times it's just like, don't tell me anything, don't add me, don't da-da-da. Ek is hier so, en ek sal hier bly. Want niemand sal my, like, no one will take this position away from me. So do you think that managerial styles or also just the way you empower your employees has an effect on how they ultimately work with each other?
They could go two different ways, but I think it definitely does play a role because if I work for a company and the manager talks a lot about communication, the manager talks a lot, it's very empowering, it's very, you know, it obviously builds that environment.
Safe,
Yeah,
you know,
safe,
peaceful,
you
tranquil.
know. But if it's not that way, then obviously it's not going to be like that. It's just like if I go into a class today, if I know for a fact that I'm going to walk into this class and this teacher is going to tease me, obviously that teacher is opening the door for other learners to tease me because monkey see, monkey do. And it's also things of like, if I am sitting in a class and a teacher calls someone, hey, you're fat, or you fatty, or something, I will be like, I as a learner will be like, oh, the teacher is doing it most days.
Yeah.
I will, you know, because I had the same instance in primary school where a teacher did that to me. But because of my father, the situation was dealt with because you're not going to do that to me, you know? And I'm very, I'm a crybaby. I'm very,
it's hard to imagine.
Guys, I cry a lot. I cry a lot, and I won't cry in that situation. But obviously, I was in primary school. I
You
started crying.
crowed.
I crowed. I crowed. But I
Yeah.
cried immediately. I started crying, and my chummies, the girls, I always had female friends. They came, consoled, like, okay, Junior, it's okay, don't cry. And I went to tell my father because it's not right. You cannot
Yeah.
call me hey Joe, because like that you are opening the door for other people to
Yes.
do it to me. You know, so that boils back to the environment that
The
the
example
head,
that is set for
yeah,
you,
the
the example
example,
that is set for every other colleague or every other
yeah.
friend. So, say for example, we're in a friend circle, right?
Mm.
And this is, we're really close. These are my
Chomzalas,
homegirls.
yeah.
Tifartanje, we ride or die. And all of a sudden, there's no J. Now, maybe two, say for example, you and I. Now there's J with us. And they choose a side. Do you understand?
Yeah.
There was a standard and a precedence that was set in
Mm.
that particular relationship, in that particular environment.
Yeah.
So now people are like, nee, het must klas hoor.
Yeah.
It must klas hoor. Ons sal nie we won't respect you as much as we used to, because we see that this person, maybe it's a person that whose house we always go and chill at, or when we go out, this person is always buying drinks. Obviously, they'll choose side. And
Yeah.
a side, and whose side will they choose? Me now, come on, that drinks the money, or me that pays the bills. So the example that you set is very important, I think, and also having safe spaces. So yesterday I had or not yesterday, last week I had a profound conversation with Nasha Dunaiski, and we were talking about safe environments. So I want to bring that into this discussion, like having a safe environment, not only in the household, not only in the workplace, and not only in your friend circle, just knowing that if I say this, and I say this in confidence to this person, I know it's not going to run in the streets, or I know it's not going to be taken out of context, or I know
Honestly.
that they won't fuel the fire. So how important is it to you as an individual to have that safe space, not just in your workplace, but everywhere you find yourself?
A safe space is very important. And you see, I said it with a breath because I know that is something that is so important, because if I have a safe space, if I know I can go here, because, in life, right now we're facing a lot of toxicity. Everywhere we go, there's so much toxicity.
I can't
And
stress that
the
enough. It's crazy.
the way you can fix that a lot of times is by speaking to someone, seeing a psychologist, counselor, what it may be, creating that safe space. And if you don't have that safe space, it's always what's leading to that.
But I think,
So
like
a safe space is it's very important to me. It's very important. I have a safe space. I know who I can speak to if I don't want namibia.com.na to know my story. I know who I can go to. I know that I can speak to a counselor. I know all those things, but not other people are not as empowered as I am. So the conversation also then picks up from there. How do I then help other people create their own safe spaces? Because
a lot of the times you'll find that person that's like, no, it's safe to talk to me, da da da. Maybe because you have a shared, not trauma, but you have a shared experience. Like, oh no, this colleague did what to me, and I'm like, oh really, me too, da da da. All of a sudden you not form a clique per se, but then you guys start communicating.
Bonding.
Yeah, you bond on that shared trauma or experience, and then the moment that person breaks your trust, so whatever you say to them, they run and they go say it to someone else. That's now where I've just decided, bruh, I'm just going to stick to myself. People maybe say, someone laughed at me the other day when I was like, in high school I was a loner. I would just read my books on the stairs, and I was a real loner. But I understood from the beginning that a lot of the things that I would say to someone, right? Because this one girl in high school came to me and she was whiling and she was going on about another girl. But luckily, from a very early age, I learned this. And then she came and she was complaining about the other girl. We were in grade 8, I think. And so I was like, okay, cool. Let's talk to the person, because you guys are friends. Let's go to the person. Let's talk to the person. Because I have this I stick to this. if you are not strong enough to say it to the person's face, don't say it at all. I don't mind you talking to me about someone else. Just keep the same energy the moment the person is in front of you. That's what I stick to. So I told the person, no, let's go, let's go and talk to your friend. Next thing I know, this girl switches the thing and says, no, Elizabeth said this.
Ooh,
Then I'm like,
Jesu.
wait. I was trying to help you sort your thing out with your friend. How did I even say that? And first of all, I don't even know who the heck they were talking about or what they were arguing or quarreling about. I just wanted to get them together so that they can talk it out with like me as a type of mediator. Van daaraf, I just decided, hi, bro, I'm never going to do that again. The moment someone comes to me like, oh, weet je wat? And I'm like, look, first, hold on. Are you able to say this that you're going to tell me right now to the person's face? If they hesitate, I'm like, just don't tell me at all. Because I know it. I know where it stems from. You feel like you're venting, maar hy is so skindergoede. Ek weet nie wanneer hy skindergoed nie.
Okay, maybe I beg to differ though, because I feel like if I come to you, you know, like I'm someone, you know, so many people always get shocked when they find, like I don't like violence until it gets to that point. So I think that's my problem, because I will go to my friend and I'll be like, yo, you know what? Elizabeth, what gemaakt vandaag? Then I'll go home again. Who was weer Elizabeth? Then I'll go home for the third time. As weer Elizabeth. And then the next day I come to school. I'm not in the mood. Dan come Elizabeth and say, oh, dan drijk. You know? Then that's where the problem comes. So I think I'm changing. I agree with you. If you're coming to me with that energy of like, you know what? You know, sometimes it's like a conversation that we can have. Maybe you can console, you can talk to me and stuff, but also I look at who you are.
And there's a difference between venting and really just talking trash about someone.
No, but like the thing is, if my friend, one of my close friends maybe wants to come talk trash about someone to me, I'm going to be very honest to you, nothing but the tea. I'm going to let my friend come talk. You can come talk. But if it's not my close friend, it's just a friend and I will be like, Chomi?
Yeah,
no,
it's true.
Because if you are not my close friend, then the things will go turn and be like, no, Junior and I were talking about Elizabeth. And then
meanwhile, you were just listening. You were just the ear, the vessel.
And then when the stories come out, it's like you didn't even say the words. That's a problem. But then it's turning back to you, and you're like, and you know, you will not lie about mine. That's one thing. You're not gonna tarnish my name because I will be like, huh? What did I say?
Pull up those receipts.
And you know, the thing with me, especially if you are telling half story, dan praat ek julle goed uit. Jy ook wat en wat. Because you must want to put me in problems. That's like all kind of problems.
I try not to give my 2 cents. I ask first. It's something that I also learned. I probably watched it or whatever. I heard it somewhere. It's like first ask the person, do you want advice or do you just want me to listen? Because then it's a disclaimer, because right now I'm going to give you advice. That meaning I'm going to try to give you advice from whatever I can, to try and help the situation. But if you just want me to listen, jy kan jou ore afpraat, ons kan 3 bottles wine drink. We can sit there the whole night and you can prat.
But also,
I will not engage.
Jy kan prat as jy may close friend.
Yeah, not.
Ma, if you adjust, sorry, because you're going to put me in problems, and I'm not trying to get into problems, honestly. But it was really fun having this discussion.
I loved it.
God,
and I'm so glad he knew just at which junction to say, let's call it quits. Because this was just supposed to be an interactive or like a place for us to vent or, just share ideas about the topic. Yes, thank you so much for joining us. That was short and sweet. From me, Elizabeth, and my guest, Hansho. It is bye till next time.
Bye.